It's time. After this season, or the halfway point in this season, the next couple of weeks, whenever, it's time for the Washington Commanders to move on from Ron Rivera. And no, I'm not saying this because they just lost to the Dallas Cowboys 45-10, even though that's a big reason to move on from him as well. This team has not been good this season. They're going to get Sam Howell killed. He's not going to make it out this season with that terrible offensive line. And I'm surprised that he's going out there and he's going to putting up the numbers that he is with this horrible offensive line. This offensive line is the worst offensive line in the NFL, and a lot of it is because the talent up front is just not good. Sam Howell does hold on to the ball for too long at times, but it's also this. Eric Bieniemy has been a solid offensive coordinator with this team, but he is at fault as well. When it is 3rd and 1, why are you going out there and taking deep shots down the field? Just run the football. When it's 4th and 1, just run the football with Brian Robinson Jr., who is a very good running back for this team. They phased Antonio Gibson out. He doesn't even get that many snaps anymore with this team. And a certain point in time in the past, a couple years ago, he was number 1 running back for this team. I understand that he dealt with some fumbling issues, but Brian Robinson is a leading running back with this team. And I have no problem with that. It was a point in time last season, both of these guys were splitting carries and they had a dominant rushing attack. They had a very good run game against the Philadelphia Eagles last season, and they played the Philadelphia Eagles close. Not once, but twice this season. They went to overtime with that team this season with Sam Howell getting hit repeatedly. So he is not the problem with this team. It's Ron Rivera. Over the last couple of years, I understand they may have not had the quarterback position right. They made the playoffs, and they had a playoff game with Taylor Heineke going out and trying to outperform Tom Brady. But it has been mediocrity over and over again with Ron Rivera. And I understand that was a different leadership with Dan Snyder. Well, Ron Rivera is the last piece of the Dan Snyder era, in my opinion, and it's time to let him go. The only reason that people hold him up in the regard that they do is because of that Super Bowl push he had with Cam Newton, and let's be completely honest, Cam Newton carried that team on his back offensively. They didn't have any true wide receivers. It wasn't because of the game plan by Ron Rivera. It was all because of that MVP season by Cam Newton. Ron Rivera is not a good NFL head coach anymore, and the game has passed him by, in my opinion. And the offense is in shambles because of the offensive line. But Sam Howell's going to go out there and get 300 plus passing yards a game, may get 2 to 3 passing touchdowns a game. He's going to do his thing. He isn't perfect, but he definitely has franchise quarterback potential. This defense is horrible. And that's Jack Del Rio. It's time to let him go as well. He is a terrible defensive coordinator in the NFL, and that's a Ron Rivera guy. See, last season, they had a horrible offensive coordinator as well. That's why they have Eric Bieniemy this season, another Ron Rivera hire. You've had 2 horrible coordinators back to back. Last season, you brought him over. It was Norv Turner over from the Carolina Panthers era. Game passed him by. Jack Del Rio, for whatever reason, wants to put Emmanuel Forbes one-on-one coverage over and over again. And you know that this kid cannot hold his own in the NFL. He's a first-round pick. He should be playing better. But it's up for the coach to go out there and make those adjustments when you see your players struggling immensely over and over in that man coverage. They just can't get things going. And their defense was going to take a hit because you no longer have Montez Sweat. You no longer have Chase Young. That should tell you everything about this team moving forward and how they felt about them at the trade deadline. They have a lot of faith in Sam Howell, but overall as a team, they don't have that faith, and it starts with Ron Rivera. And I look at Eric Bieniemy. I don't know if he will be the head coach of this team next season, or he'll step in and be the interim head coach because of the way that he game plans with the team. I like his offensive philosophy. He is still trying to use Sam Howell similar to how he did with Patrick Mahomes in the last couple of years. The passing game looks good, but he gives up on the run game too early, and that's going to hurt your quarterback when that protection up front is not good. And unfortunately with this team, it's not. But you look at this Washington Commanders team. How do you lose to the New York Giants? You let Tommy DeVito look like the second coming of Eli Manning when he made a Super Bowl run against the New England Patriots. He had 3 passing touchdowns against his team. You lost against the New York Giants 31-19. That is ridiculous. That is horrible. Not to just lose to the Giants once, but to lose to them twice. That is ridiculous. Then you look at this Commanders team early in the season. The Chicago Bears beat them 40-20 because no one wanted to cover DJ Moore. They had no defensive adjustments for DJ Moore. They can't cover true number 1 wide receivers. And we saw that again today with CeeDee Lamb going off and Brandon Cooks going off on this team. No adjustments. After halftime, this team got ran through like it was no tomorrow. And you can only score 10 points in the game. You can say that's on Eric Bieniemy, that's on Sam Howell, but you're going against a top pass rushing team in the NFL with a horrible offensive line. That's what you expect. But you expect for the defense to at least show up. for some adjustments to at least be made. The entire coaching staff needs to be swept through, and hopefully with this brand new ownership, they can get the Washington Commanders up to a brand new point. Because I thought this season, heading into this season, they're going to be the one breakout team in the NFC, and unfortunately that hasn't happened. But one bright side with this team, and I'm going to stand on this, you have some nice weapons. You have Curtis Samuel, who is a very good wide receiver if he can stay healthy. You could trade him to go get some offensive line help, or trade him to go get some picks to go get some offensive line help. But you have a bona fide number one wide receiver in Terry McLaurin. He's not having the season that he wants to have right now, or having a true impact season, because Sam Howell can't give him the football over and over again. But when you give Sam Howell that time in the pocket, we have seen what he's been able to do in that connection with Terry McLaurin. And you also have Jahan Dotson as well. Is a bit inconsistent, but when he is on, he's a very good wide receiver for this team. And I like the talent that they have at their tight end position. Sam Howell has showed a lot of good moments, and I do believe that is their franchise quarterback, but they need a lot of work on the defensive end, and it's not because of the players, it's because of the coaching. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about the Washington Commanders, and should they let Ron Rivera go? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. I want each and every last one of you guys to have a blessed day. Stay safe, stay positive. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, and thanks for watching my video once again. I love you guys. Peace.